Hi, Dr. Robinson here, and we are doing the Autoimmune Plan Diet Cooking Session hands-on. We are going to make a Thai curry slow cooker soup, and it's one of my favorite recipes, not only for the Autoimmune Plan Diet, but also it's just a delicious soup. You can also make it into a curry if you don't add the broth. And the autoimmune plan is really good for patients with autoimmune disease and any kind of inflammatory condition. So rheumatoid arthritis, lupus, Hashimoto's thyroiditis or autoimmune thyroid disease, psoriasis, inflammatory conditions like eczema, asthma. It's a very anti-inflammatory diet, and it's a good way to get the immune system calmed down and under control if you're having a lot of inflammation issues. All right, the first thing we're going to do is chop one bell pepper. You can do any color, red, yellow, orange. I don't care for green in this. The red, yellow, and orange are probably better for Thai flavors. The easiest way to cut a pepper is to cut the top off, cut the bottom off, and then cut the sides down, and then you can remove the core. That is a very quick way. You want to cut in strips, very thin strips. When they're thin, they cook faster. This is a really quick recipe that you can make literally in 30 minutes if you have everything you need. So it's a good, quick dinner that can be, again, either a soup or a curry. The quickest way you can change your health is by changing your diet. Within weeks, you can feel better if you do make the right changes. So same with the onion. You want to cut thin slices. We're going to heat about a teaspoon or so of coconut oil. Coconut oil is very good on the autoimmune plan because it has a lot of anti-inflammatory properties. So we're going to saute the onions and the peppers until they get nice and soft and caramelized. After your peppers are cooked, we're going to add some ginger and garlic. So another really easy shortcut is these Trader Joe's crushed ginger and crushed garlic. They come frozen, and you know, if you call for a teaspoon of garlic, you just pop one out and put it in what you're cooking. So we're going to use that shortcut here. So again, just pop one out. Well, these got a little thawed out. When they're frozen, they pop out really easy. And then we're going to do one ginger. You can add more if you like. Peppers and onions are nice and caramelized, as you can see. So the next thing we're going to do is add the other ingredients, which we have 2 cans of coconut milk. I used 1 reduced fat or light and 1 regular, but depending on how thick you like it, you can add 2 cans of regular. If you like it lighter, you can add 2 light. Then we're going to add 2 tablespoons of Thai red curry paste. And 2 tablespoons of fish sauce, which you can find in the Asian section of your grocery store. And 2 tablespoons, I use brown coconut sugar. So we've got one more ingredient. Now, the recipe calls for peanut butter. On the AIP or the autoimmune plan, you really should be nut-free. So if you're strict AIP, you want to be nut-free. You can do this without the nut butter. It gives it a nice nutty flavor. This is actually nut butter made from tiger nuts, which are a fruit, but they have a nutty flavor. And I had never heard of a tiger nut until I was introduced to the AIP diet. Thrivemarket.com, you can get tiger nuts, soak them overnight, and put some coconut oil and grind them down into a nut butter. So we're going to try that for this recipe since we're being strict on our autoimmune plan. So it's 2 tablespoons of nut butter. And you see how nice and red color that the red curry paste gives this. So you can either cook this down to thicken it and just have it as a curry. You can put it over cauliflower rice. For the AIP plan, that's a better choice because the AIP is grain-free, including rice. So you can put it over cauliflower rice. If you're not doing the autoimmune plan, you can put it over white rice, brown rice, quinoa, and it's delicious. So you just cook it down until it's a little bit thicker. The other option is to make it into a Thai soup. So if you're going to do the soup, you add 2 cups of either organic chicken broth or organic vegetable broth. This is vegetable broth, which is actually going to give it a very rich flavor as well. So if you add that, you've got a soup. You can also put cauliflower rice in your soup or white rice, brown rice, quinoa to give it a little bit more body and more filling. After that's cooked down to the thickness you like, you can cook it for longer or not. You're going to add the juice of a half of a lime, which is really going to give that acidic flavor to just finish it off. So you can either have a vegan curry, which is going to just have your vegetables, and you can use any kind of vegetables. This is really good with broccoli. You can add some kale, some spinach. Chicken is very good with it, so I have just some shredded chicken, about 1.5 cups of chicken you can put in here right at the end if it's already cooked. You can also make this in a crock pot with raw chicken and just let it cook slow for 4 hours. The next part of the recipe, we're going to make some cauliflower rice. We are going to take a shortcut, again, because we're all busy and we like shortcuts. This is Trader Joe's organic riced cauliflower. It's in the frozen section at Trader Joe's. You can also make your own cauliflower, rice cauliflower, by taking cauliflower and putting it in a food processor until it is the consistency of rice. It's about the same price whether you buy it this way. These are about $2 a bag, and if you purchase a head of cauliflower, it's about the same, so you're not going to save too much by doing it yourself. You can also buy it fresh at your local grocery store usually. Trader Joe's also has fresh cauliflower rice. The fresh is a little more chunky, so if you like it more fine, the frozen is probably the way to go. Again, about a teaspoon of coconut oil. We're going to heat up. Do not cook the cauliflower too long because it will get overcooked and mushy. You just want to cook it about 3 to 4 minutes just to heat it up and soften it. And to absorb the water, because in the frozen cauliflower there will be some water. So once the cauliflower is warmed up and the liquid is absorbed, we will add 1/2 lime to give it some flavor, or the juice of 1/2 lime, and some chopped cilantro. So this is a lime, coconut, cilantro cauliflower, and this will be a great base for our curry. So on the autoimmune plan, I didn't mention earlier, is a very anti-inflammatory diet, and you need to avoid foods that cause or that are more likely to cause sensitivities. Gluten, dairy are definitely the top 2 that I see causing a lot of inflammation and reactions. Soy, nuts, eggs, And then grains and sugars in general can promote inflammation. So the AIP plan is a difficult diet, but it's really good, again, to get you the inflammation down and get autoimmune disease under control. And then later on, sometimes you can bring some of those foods back in. So desserts can be a challenge since it's really a very low sugar diet, and dairy as well you are avoiding. So we're going to have some coconut milk yogurt as a dessert parfait. We go with like half a cup. But this is unsweetened yogurt. If you buy a sweetened or flavored yogurt, it is going to have sugar. If it's a diet type yogurt, it may not have sugar, but it will have artificial sweeteners, which are really bad for the gut, the GI tract. Artificial sweeteners can kill the good bacteria that lives in your GI tract that actually keeps you healthy, helps you digest food, decreases inflammation, helps your body to detox, and you want that good bacteria. So if you eat a lot of artificial sweeteners, it can actually decrease the growth of good bacteria and the good bugs that you should have in your gut. So these are berries. We have raspberries, blackberries, and blueberries. And berries are very low sugar fruit, so they're a good option for the AIP diet. So you can put a couple scoops of berries. Because we're avoiding grains, this is like a grain-free trail mix that has goji berries, mulberry, cacao, which is chocolate. It's very high in antioxidants and has coconut in it too. So we're going to do a couple tablespoons of the trail mix, which is going to give us a nice crunch. There are a few nuts in here. If you're strict autoimmune plan, you'll at least want to avoid nuts at the beginning. There are a few cashews and Brazil nut pieces in here, but again, if you're going to be strict, you want to avoid nuts at least at the beginning. We can use a little bit of sweetener, either honey, which is actually has some antioxidant and anti-inflammatory properties. Again, if you're really doing the strict autoimmune plan, monk fruit sweetener is a good option. It's a no-calorie natural sweetener, so it's not an artificial or chemical sweetener, but there are no calories in it. I am a honey fan, so we're just going to do a drizzle of honey. Not too much, just to give it nice sweetness. All right, and that is our dessert parfait. I hope you enjoyed our cooking session with the Thai curry and dessert parfaits. Again, this is compliant with the autoimmune plan diet, great for people with autoimmune disease and inflammatory conditions. If you like what you've heard today, please go to my website, robinsonmed.com, and I have lots of blogs, and you can subscribe to the newsletter. Thank you, and I hope you enjoy and cook this in your own kitchen.